First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
Welcome to WUFT News First at 5. I'm Alexus Cleavenger.
And I'm Jacob Sedesse. Thanks for joining us. We start with breaking news in Marion County, a murder case which detectives believe started with a potential drug deal turned robbery. Detectives arrested 19-year-old Jordan Matthew Neal today and charged him with second-degree murder and robbery with a firearm. The sheriff's office says 4 men met at the Greenway Trailhead off Banyan Road, and Neal and a partner tried to rob the others of marijuana. There was an exchange of gunfire that killed 18-year-old Cameron Cole Dalzell and injured another man. Neal's bond is set at $100,000. The Broward County Sheriff's Office is investigating a shooting which killed 2 men and a teenager. A neighbor in the West Park area says she heard at least 8 to 10 gunshots outside her window Sunday night, so she hid on the floor until it was over. The 2 men died at the scene. A 17-year-old boy was also shot. Paramedics rushed him to a hospital, but he did not survive. The sheriff's office was not announced any suspects or arrests at this time. Detectives are hoping for tips through Broward Crime Stoppers.
The loss of several cars that burned outside the last Miami Dolphins game is now considered accidental. Miami-Dade fire officials say a group of 8 cars went up in flames in the parking lot of the Hard Rock Stadium. 10 units responded to control the blaze and keep it from spreading to other cars. It happened in an area where people had been tailgating. One man who lost a Mercedes says police told him someone slid their grill underneath their vehicle before entering the stadium. Now in Marion County, books on the shelves in the library, but several have the potential to be banned. The legislature passed a law giving parents the opportunity to petition for books to be removed.
In July, the law took effect. We are only a few months into the school year. WUFT's Allison Williams went to Marion County School to find out if this new law is affecting reading curriculum in the community.
The HB 1467 bill went into effect July 1st. Now books in school libraries have to be pre-approved by state-certified media specialists.
All of these books have one thing in common. They've all been banned from schools in the past. Coordinator for Instructional Materials in Marion County Schools, Jennifer Leeds, says in order for books to fill the shelves, librarians and media center specialists must go through new training.
As part of the library collection policy, there is already a process in place that our books were to be reviewed by media specialists, as well as incorporating a literacy committee at the schools to have feedback. They also take into consideration feedback from students and what the students want.
But at this moment in Marion County, the training hasn't started. In fact, it hasn't started anywhere in Florida.
We are most definitely making sure we're reaching out to notify the public where they can find the information and what we're doing to be in alignment, but we haven't received anything of concern on feedback coming back to us.
Before the training became mandatory, each school's principal and media center specialist used their discretion for book approvals. Because of that, Leeds says the county hasn't been too affected since the new law passed.
So we are moving forward with principals' discretion. We feel that our principals know what they need best at their schools to serve the student population that they are serving.
Sounds a lot like one of Osceola Middle School's words of the week, censor, which means to examine and remove or hold anything back thought not right for people to see or hear.
So I really don't even like talking about the term censorship. So what is most important is that students have access to materials that are going to best support them in their needs.
The bill states books can be removed from schools if a parent or county resident petitions for its removal. Florida has until January 1st to finalize training.
Leeds mentioned Marion County is planning to incorporate literacy committees to give feedback to the board from not only students and parents, but also community members. Again, they say they have not received any feedback of concern yet.
Thank you, Allison. We're not even halfway through the week yet, and I've already seen so much rain.
I know. I'm starting to miss those sunny days, even if it means putting up with the heat. WUFT's Derrah joins us now to tell us more about this week's weather. Derrah?
That first wave of storms we saw earlier is pushing further and further east. We saw lots of heavy rain and lightning earlier in Perry and off the coast of Daytona Beach. Few scattered showers here and there in Gainesville, but we haven't received rain for the past couple of hours, which is why that heat has been ramping up outside. Temperatures are in the mid-80s, but it feels like 93. Clouds are covering the sky, and you can see a sliver of sunlight peeking through behind me. Over the next couple of hours, we're expecting these passing showers to continue to steadily decrease our temperatures. Our rain chances will fluctuate as we're tracking that cold front moving through our area in south of Florida. I'll have more on that in my full weather. Back to you.
Thank you, Derrah. A mobile radar truck makes its debut on the University of Florida campus. In collaboration with the University of Oklahoma, it's a project supported by the National Science Foundation. The goal is to increase the accessibility of radar systems and reach a wider community for scientific exploration. The truck will be parked on campus for 2 weeks, allowing UF geography students to design radar operations and collect data. UF Assistant Geography Professor Barry Wen says Gainesville is a radar dead zone, and that mobile truck will help fix that.
For this one, we can have this mobile radar to fill the gap. Yeah, we can see what the radar cannot see. Yes, to use this mobile one, we can drive this radar out to collect data.
After 2 weeks, Wen students will be able to operate it when it returns to Oklahoma. Wen says after the experiment, this plans to create a proposal for the NSF for a permanent radar to stay on campus.
Alachua Habitat for Humanity hosted a dedication ceremony for one of its affordable homes earlier today. Ashley Burke received her keys to her new house in a heartfelt ceremony. After putting in countless hours of what Alachua Habitat of Humanity calls sweat equity, her hard work finally came to fruition. Habitat for Humanity requires 250 hours of work in order to participate in the home giving program. If qualified, those who fall within a certain income range get to pursue home ownership.
It just feels good to see something you accomplish, something that started out so small be so grand.
Burke says she's grateful for the program and all of those who assisted with building the home. Alachua Habitat is set to complete 12 to 14 homes by June.
The numbers for this month's Consumer Price Index were released today.
That's right, but are they better or worse than last month's report?
Coming up on First at 5, see how this could be hurting your pockets.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome back. Despite a significant decline in gas prices, inflation is still a rising concern for many Americans. Experts tell us they believe prices are expected to decline, but the Consumer Price Index report released this morning shows otherwise. The report reveals the Consumer Price Index increased by 0.1% this month. This comes after economists predicted inflation to drop by 0.1%. Prices in housing and healthcare are both seeing an overall increase, and food costs rose up to 6% compared to last year's numbers. The index tracking all items, however, it's at 8.3% this month. That's lower than July's 8.5% index, thanks to the decline in gas prices. And as prices seem to be facing an overall decline, the Biden administration continues anti-inflation efforts, especially with the election just 2 months away. We get more from NBC News.
Less than 2 months before the midterm elections, new numbers on the economy show inflation ticked up slightly, even as gas prices and the cost of travel fell. President Biden, speaking at Logan International Airport in Boston, touted major investments in infrastructure that he and fellow Democrats helped usher into law.
For too long, we've talked about having the best economy in the world. We've talked about asserting American leadership around the world with the best and the safest roads, railroads, ports, airports. But now we're finally doing something about it.
Biden says the major projects will be built by American union workers with good wages and benefits. He also boasted about other parts of his legislative agenda, including the Inflation Reduction Act, which he says is helping to bring down prices.
But there's more to do, a lot more to do. That the American people should have confidence that we're on the right track, that we're seeing real progress.
But the president and his party still face major headwinds. But the new Consumer Price Index figures out today show food and housing costs rose, keeping inflation high. Polls show it's a major concern for the American people and a drag on the Biden administration, a fact Republicans are quick to point out.
The American people know who created this mess. They remember quite well how Washington Democrats spent the spring of 2021 dining out on left-wing spending and leaving taxpayers to pick up the bill.
The finger pointing will no doubt continue as we are now less than 2 months from Election Day.
A former Twitter employee lets us in on the privacy risks the company faces after testifying before Congress earlier today. But what does that mean for users? Peter Mudge Zatko, Twitter's previous head of security, is raising concerns about the lack of safety measures the app takes to protect private information. The Twitter whistleblower says he brought these issues to the company's attention, but claims that executives didn't do anything to address them. As a former employee, Zatko says he gained insight on the consequences this neglect could have on political figures and other users.
What I discovered when I joined Twitter was that this enormously influential company was over a decade behind industry security standards. The company's cybersecurity failures make it vulnerable to exploitation, causing real harm to real people.
Twitter fired Zatko earlier this year and negates his accusations against the company, saying he is, quote, painting a false narrative.
It feels like every day I'm trying to beat the rain on my way out the door.
Same here, Alexus. WUFT's Derrah Getter joins us now. And Derrah, for how long are we going to keep using our umbrellas?
Well, we're expecting rain this evening, but you shouldn't need your umbrellas too much longer after that.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
That first wave of storms we were tracking earlier continues to make its way further and further east. We saw lots of heavy rain and lightning north of Perry and off the coast of Daytona Beach. If you are living near the Santa Fe or St. Mary's River areas, there is a river flood warning in effect for you. So if you live near the Santa Fe River or the St. Mary's River, be aware of that. We are tracking a cold front moving east of Gainesville, bringing lots of rain. That's why we've been seeing a significant amount of rain lately. During north and south of it, rain, it's continuing to move further east this evening and overnight, and so we're expecting our rain chances to dry out early into Wednesday morning. There is a chance of a possible overnight shower and more showers this evening, but other than that, Wednesday until the afternoon should remain pretty dry. Right now, temperatures are in the mid-80s, but it feels like it's 93 degrees outside. You can see a sliver of sunshine peeking through the clouds behind me, but mostly cloudy skies outside of our studios right now. Over the next couple of hours, we're expecting temperatures to steadily decrease as these rain chances fluctuate, and we're expecting more waves of showers to pass through and cool us down a bit. We are expecting an overnight low of 69 degrees tonight with that cold front. So if you are in Gainesville, you'll be waking up to temperatures in the 70s, 69 in High Springs, and 71 in Bronson. As you make your way through your day tomorrow and head out the door, temperatures will ramp up to the upper 70s with possible showers rolling in later in the afternoon. That gives that time for the heat to ramp up with our high in the upper 80s tomorrow. Around 2, storms will start to make their way through. You can see our cold front tomorrow is all the way in South Florida, but right here, it's sitting right about here above Gainesville. It's going to continue to move further and further south overnight tonight. Earlier, we are going to receive some storms tomorrow as soon as 2 p.m. And later on, it's going to continue to push further and further off the coast, and the bulk of the storms are going to be centered south of Gainesville, with a few stray showers in Chiefland and St. Augustine. With the storms continuing to push further and further south, we are going to see lots of cloudy skies these next couple of days and a few stray showers. We've received about 11.33 inches of rain the last 30 days. And back to you.
This year's Emmy Awards include plenty of repeat winners.
And for the first timers, there was plenty of emotion. NBC's Gina Kim recaps the big night in Hollywood.
Ted Lasso!
The British soccer comedy scored top honors at Monday night's Emmy Awards, including back-to-back acting wins for both Brett Goldstein and series star Jason Sudeikis.
Thank you so much for the people that watch this show and dig it as much as we dig making it.
Succession! Also scoring a second win as top drama was HBO's tale of corporate intrigue and family dysfunction.
We are incredibly grateful to have this. It's a wonderful honor. This group is extraordinary.
A group including Matthew McFadden, who nabbed Best Supporting Actor.
I must say, it really is such a pleasure and a privilege for me to play this bonkers gift of a role.
Supporting Actress went to Ozark's Julia Garner for a third time, while Zendaya scored a second win as lead actress for Euphoria.
This means so much. Thank you so much. Wow.
Lead honors for comedy went to Jean Smart, her second straight one for Hacks.
And as we all know, season 2 of a show is kind of the litmus test, so this has just been a thrill.
Lee Jung-jae! Among the night's first-time winners, Squid Game's Lee Jung-jae for Best Actor in a Drama.
감사합니다.
And veteran actress Cheryl Lee Ralph.
And I know.
Breaking into song after her supporting actress win for Abbott Elementary.
I am here to tell you that this is what believing looks like.
Emotions overwhelmed Lizzo after she won Best Competition Series for Lizzo's Watch Out for the Big Girls.
When I was a little girl, all I wanted to see was me in the media. Someone fat like me, black like me, beautiful like me.
Now, Lizzo's burgeoning resume can add Emmy winner. Gina Kim, NBC News, Los Angeles.
We're hoping it'll be a fun night tonight for girls volleyball.
2 old rivals will be playing head-to-head. Stay tuned to find out which team the girls will be up against when we get back.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome to sports. I'm DJ McCathran. The 16th ranked Gator volleyball team is in action tonight against in-state rival Florida State. Joining us live at the O'Connell Center is Cristina Santiago with more on the matchup.
The number 16 Gators volleyball team will be going up against their in-state rival, the FSU Seminoles, right here at the O-Dome. They're feeling pretty confident going into this game as they just dominated at the Sunshine Invitational. They defeated Georgia Southern, FGCU, and VCU, so they are now currently on a 3-game winning streak. FSU, on the other hand, just lost to number 17 Creighton. This highly anticipated Sunshine Showdown will start right here at 7 p.m. Reporting live from the O-Dome, Cristina Santiago, WUFT News. Now back to you, DJ.
After the excitement of an upset win over 7th-ranked Utah, it was a tough weekend in the Swamp as Florida was defeated by Kentucky. Kentucky played great defensively as they held quarterback Anthony Richardson to 143 yards passing. He threw 2 interceptions, including the pick 6 that gave the Wildcats the lead. Head coach Billy Napier talks about the loss and how the team will bounce back.
Didn't get the result that we wanted. And I think that presents an opportunity, right? I think it's part of the story of this team. It's part of the story of some of the individual players on our team. I think when you get presented with struggle, when you fail, when you lose, when you make mistakes, when you're presented with challenges and adversity in life, I think that there's opportunity.
Florida looks to get back in the win column with a game against USF on Saturday.
Thank you, DJ. Queen Elizabeth II left behind a memorable gift that changed the history of a Florida city. Swan City, located in Lakeland, Florida, got its name after the Queen gifted 2 swans to a couple more than half a century ago. After the swan population had died off in the 1920s, the couple asked Britain's longest-serving monarch to donate royal swans to the city. Today, you can find swan logos and statues all over the city in Lakeland honoring the gift residents received hundreds of years ago.
Before we go, one last check on the weather.
There is a possibility of a passing shower as that cold front makes its way south. The rest of the week will be in the upper 80s with our rain chances fluctuating, so make sure you're prepared with your rain gear. Back to you.
Thanks, Derrah. BBC World News is next, and the PBS News Hour is coming up at 7.
But remember, your Florida news is always on at WUFT.org. Have a good night.